Ocean energy. We all know that one third of the earth is covered by water in the form of oceans and seas. These oceans and seas receive solar radiation continuously, absorbing the amount of radiation that is falling onto them and acting as natural solar energy collectors. Hence, they form a very good source of renewable energy. Ocean energy is available in various forms. And before going to know about these various forms in detail, let us know what we are going to learn. Let us know what we are going to learn in this video. We will be discussing about various forms of ocean energy, history of ocean energy, principle of ocean thermal energy conversion, merits and demerits, and types of plants used for generating electricity out of ocean energy. The first system of ocean thermal energy conversion was built at Cuba in the year 1930, which could generate 22 kilowatt of electricity. After that, there were so many designs designed by scientists, and then in 1999 USA became successful in generating an electricity of 250 kilowatts with a better performance from ocean. India also built 1 megavolt floating ocean thermal energy conversion pilot plant near Tamil Nadu, and it is being financed by Government of India. The conversion of solar energy stored as heat in the ocean into electrical energy is called as ocean thermal energy conversion. The capacity factor of ocean thermal energy conversion plant will be around 90%. The losses due to pumping will be up to 20%. The technical challenge is requirement of high volumes of water at minimum pressure losses as per the research paper published by Cooper, Mayer and Barley in 2009. It also requires large pumps, wide piping systems, even for cold water pipes continuously operating in a deep sea environment, which is a very big challenge as there are many species living in the depth of the seas. And for example, if we want to generate 50 megawatt electricity from a ocean thermal energy conversion plant, it would require several seawater pumps whose size is same as a locomotive engine. These pumps must be able to guide 300 tons of seawater through the plant per second, which is a very high value compared to any other conversion systems. And apart from this, ocean energy can be used to generate not only electricity but also to desalinate water, support deep water mariculture, provide refrigeration and air conditioning. It can also aid in crop growth, mineral extraction. OTEC has also been used to produce methanol, ammonia, hydrogen and other such chemicals from the ocean. The principle behind ocean thermal energy conversion is Beer-Lambert's law. Beer-Lambert's law states that each layer of equal thickness absorbs same fraction of light that passes through it, which is given by minus di by dx is equal to ki. On integration, we get I naught Ix is equal to I naught into e to the power of minus kx. Here I naught represents intensity of radiation on the surface, Ix represents intensity of radiation at a distance x, and k represents absorption coefficient. This absorption coefficient will have a value of 0.05 per meter for fresh water and 0.27 for turbid fresh water, 0.5 per meter for salty water. From Lambert's law, we could understand that radiation intensity decreases exponentially as we move into the depth of the layers of the seawater. Depending upon K, most of all the absorption takes place very close to the surface water. That is, maximum temperature is only on the top surface of the water, whereas in the depth of the ocean, water remains cool. And the interesting part is there is no thermal convection taking place between the top layers and the deeper layers of the ocean. The ocean's surface temperature will be usually 25 degrees Celsius. In the depths 1 kilometer below the surface, the temperature would be around 7 degrees Celsius. If an engine is made to work between these two temperatures, power can be generated easily using ocean thermal energy conversion technique. The working principle behind ocean thermal energy conversion is a process which harnesses the energy from temperature differences between surface water and deep ocean waters. Energy from the sun hits the surface water, and thermal energy conversion system uses this temperature difference to power a turbine, thus producing electricity. Warm surface water is pumped through a evaporator. The vaporized fluid drives generator. This vaporized fluid is turned back to a liquid condenser where it is cooled with cold ocean water. This cold ocean water is pumped from deeper oceans onto the condenser. Ocean thermal energy conversion system using seawater as a working fluid can use the condensed water to produce desalinated water too. The figure shows thermal energy conversion system where we can clearly see the connection between evaporator, turbine, generator, condenser and pipes that are flowing from the system into the depths of the ocean. It is similar to a heat engine working between two different temperatures. The warm water on the surface is around 27 degrees Celsius, where this warm water is allowed to flow from the surface to the evaporator through a pump. The evaporator increases the temperature of working fluid, which turns it into vapor form. This vapor now reaches turbine, which rotates the turbine while it is passing through the chamber. In this way, this rotation of turbine will result in generation of electricity. After passing out of the turbine chamber, the vapor is allowed to flow into the condenser, where the condenser is surrounded by cold water which is pumped from the depth of the ocean. The maximum efficiency of a ocean thermal energy conversion plant can be understood from the Carnot's heat engine formula, efficiency formula, where Carnot's heat engine efficiency is given by eta is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1. That can also be written as 1 T2 T1 minus T2 by T1, whereas the actual efficiency of a OTEC plant is given by eta OTEC is equal to EF into efficiency of Carnot engine, where T1 is the temperature of surface water, T2 is the temperature of deep sea water, EF is the relative efficiency factor, which is usually 0.4 to 0.6. So, when the efficiency is calculated, it came around 90%, which is far better than the efficiency of any heat engine. Even the ideal Carnot's heat engine will have an efficiency around 40% only. Working fluid. The working fluid plays the main role in OTEC system. Here we have three types of working fluids available for the functioning of ocean thermal energy conversion system, in which ammonia, if we consider the case of ammonia, ammonia is a very good transport, having very good transport properties. It is easily available and it is of low cost, but the problem is it is toxic and flammable, like CFCs or HFCs. These are inflammable and not toxic, but they give rise to depletion of ozone layer. The third one, hydrocarbons, are very efficient, but they are highly inflammable. The power plant size depends on this vapor pressure of the working fluid. As the vapor pressure of the fluid increases, the size of the turbine and heat exchangers decreases, and the walls of the pipe, thickness of the walls of the pipe and heat exchangers increases due to high pressure, especially on the evaporator side. Cost effectiveness of OTEC system. The OTEC power can be cost effective only if the unit cost of power produced can be comparable with the fossil fuel like petrol, coal, diesel or gas, etc. It has other benefits like this OTA system not only produces electricity but also can be simultaneously used for mariculture or desalination or even air conditioning, thus giving us two outputs from the same system. It can also produce fresh water along with generating electricity. Whereas, however, the establishment of the design itself is a costly affair, and thus there are no private agencies interested in this conversion systems. The merits of OTEC can be discussed in this way. Ocean thermal energy conversion is a clean and renewable conversion source with minimum carbon emissions or sometimes no carbon emissions, because it uses warm surface seawater and cold surface seawater to produce electricity. If OTEC is designed in such a way that we can also reduce other polluting chemicals with good care, ocean thermal energy conversion systems not only produce electricity but also produce fresh water at a time, which is a very good advantage in areas where fresh water is a very big challenge. A unit of 1 megawatt OTAC is able to produce 4,500 cubic meters of fresh water per day, which is more than sufficient for 20,000 people requirement. Apart from this, OTAC system can also give us nutrient rich cold water from the deep ocean as the byproduct. The cold wastewater is discharged, which can be discharged into large ponds near the shores or lands, can also be used for mariculture, producing good yields of variety of fishes and shrimps. OTAC one day provide a means to mine ocean water for 57 trace elements from the ocean, in otherwise is also a costly affair. OTAC plants already pumping the water, and hence the only challenge is the reduction in the cost. As the solar energy is a continuous form of energy, the ocean surface layer is almost having warm temperature compared to depths. The amount of energy that can be harnessed is more than enough for the human needs of today's world. The use of OTAC for the production of electricity will also give us an alternative in the place of fossil fuels. However, there are certain demerits in usage of OTAC. The cost of power plant itself is a very high, which is a big drawback in using OTAC system. Construction of plants in depth oceans is also a difficult process compared to any other plant. No energy company is interested due to this for the establishment of OTAC plants. Apart from this, corrosion of metal parts of the plants is a very big challenge which has to be taken into consideration. Of all these, there is going to be a huge damage due to the reefs and ecosystem in the depth of the sea marines within the ocean where the plant is to be established. Saline water can also cause corrosion to the parts of the power plant. However, scientists are trying hard for a better options instead of metal machinery, and it is also doing a very high research on establishing these OTAs on the near seashores where the marines and ecosystems are very few in species and number. OTAC power plants can be classified into 4 categories based on their working system: open cycle system, closed cycle system, hybrid cycle, Kalina cycle, which we will be discussing further in our next video.